Hey, what's up everyone? In the last video, we got segues working and we got our unwind segue working super easy to switch back and forth between screens, like just super easy. No code even required, which is really cool. And in this video, we want to get our view controllers finished being set up, but we actually don't have code for them and things like that. And we got some other weird things going on that we want to fix, refactoring some names and stuff. So let's do all that stuff. And we got our 3 view controllers in here, which is great. The segue's in place. And so what I want to do is I want to rename this view controller, and I want to set up some folders here. We probably should have called this view instead of views. And I'm going to create a couple more groups here. So a new group, we're going to call this controller, and a new group called model for model view controller. Okay, and I like to put all the files where they need to be. So model. Okay, and this controller file, we should move into the controller folder. So view controllers going in controller. And this name is really bad. It's not descriptive, okay? Everything you do in coding should be very descriptive. I've worked with programmers who just like make the most obscure names and they take all the spaces out and it looks really weird. You have no idea what's going on. Why do you think Apple always has like super long function names like unwind from segue? It's because they want you to understand it. It doesn't matter how long it is. So let's go to our view controller.swift and let's rename it. So double click the name after class. Okay, that's our custom name. Right click it and go to rename. All right, this is a really cool new thing in Xcode 9. It'll refactor everything for you. So what we're going to do is and notice how even in the storyboard it's referenced, it's going to rename that so we don't have to reconnect anything. So that is just awesome. So what we're going to do is we are going to call this, what is this? Welcome screen. So welcome VC. I always put VC at the end. Apple likes to put the whole word view controller. That's kind of pointless. VC, I know it's a view controller and it's shorter. But I do put VC on there because you do want to know that it's a controller file and not like a button file, a view, or a model file. So just press enter and it's now refactored it as it should be, which is great. Okay, so there's our welcome VC. And the next thing I want to do is create 2 more view controllers, okay? One for each of our view controllers here. So right now, just by having these in the interface builder, what's happening under the hood is Apple on iOS is creating a view controller with code, like default implementation code. So if we look at our view controller here, okay, what it's doing is basically the UI view controller, it's implementing just an empty blank one. So no custom code in it. We wouldn't have any of this stuff in it, just boilerplate stuff. That's happening underneath the hood because your views here actually can't run without code. So you may think there's no code, but there actually is code going on under the hood. Apple's just doing that for us automatically. And that's not useful to us because we can't actually connect to buttons and things like that. So we need a view controller for both of these. Okay, so for the league VC and the skill VC. So in the controller folder, we're going to go to new file, Cocoa Touch class, because we need not a blank Swift file, but an actual Cocoa Touch or UI kit class for iOS. UI view controller is what we want in the subclass. Make sure it says that there. And let's call this one league VC. We do not want to also create a zip file. This would create an extra interface file for this view controller. We already have one here in our interface builder. So click next and create. All right, and let's create a second one. So new file, Cocoa Touch class, and we're going to call this one skill VC. And again, make sure UI view controller is the subclass. Okay, so now we have these extra 2 view controllers. But now we need to connect them in our storyboard. And that's fairly simple as well. So remember, right now, because we just drag these in the interface builder, when the app goes at runtime, it's creating a standard UI view controller with none of our custom code in it. We want to change that. So all you have to do is over here on the left-hand side in the document outline, select the view controller that you want, which is this one here. And this is our league view controller. And then on the right-hand side over here, there's a little icon here called the Identity Inspector. Click that and see how the class is UI view controller. All you have to do is change this to your league VC. And the important thing to know is you can't put anything in here. It has to be code that inherits from UI view controller. This colon here and the word UI view controller after means your custom class, your custom view controller is inheriting from the base view controller. If it doesn't, this would not work. It would not have let us pick this. So that's a very important thing to understand, okay? And let's click the next view controller on the right-hand side over here. It's highlighted over here, Identity Inspector, and let's change this one to the Skill VC. Okay, so these are now connected. They're now connected to the code, so when, let's say we select this one right here, and we click the Assistant Editor, it's automatically going to pull open the League VC code so we can create IB actions and things like that. Okay, so we've now got our code cleaned up. What we've done is we've created some folders here, controller, we've connected them to the storyboards, and this is how you do your apps. Whenever you're dragging interface file or view controller files in the interface builder, you have to go and create the controller code for it. And a lot of new people forget that. They build all the interface, they're like, well, I can't find the code for it. Well, it's because you didn't create the code for it. And you also, one more rookie mistake that a lot of people make is they will go into the view controller and they'll create a new Swift file like this, okay? And they'll call this, my VC, and it's empty. And they're like, what's going on? Oh, well, I should probably create a class, and we'll call this, my VC, and let's inherit from UI view controller. And you're thinking, oh, this is great, right? But use of undeclared type UI view controller, what's going on? Why is it not working? I don't know. This happens all the time. I see people give me questions on this all the time. Well, the problem is when you create a Swift file, it's importing Foundation, which is just the code for Swift. Okay, it does not have Cocoa Touch. All the frameworks that Apple has built for us for iOS development does not exist. So in order for this to work, you have to import UIKit like so. UIKit includes the Foundation, which has Swift code in it, but also includes all of the iOS stuff like UI View Controller. And that's a problem that a lot of people make. So don't do that, or make sure you do UIKit there. So a lot of good stuff here. We're going to call this video done a little bit short, but it's important for you to digest what just happened here. And let's go ahead and move on and forward into the next video.